Yeah, yeah. How have you been doing? How have you been doing? Has anybody asked you that lately? How are you doing? I'm asking. Oh, we're doing okay here. We're doing right. We're doing good. Let's see. What have you guys been doing? What have you been doing? Have you seen any shows? Have you done anything? No, not really. Well, let me tell you about what I did. I went to see Boris and Melvin's last night. It's not normally something that I'd go to, but it was pretty much in my backyard, a couple miles down the street. So I went to that. It was pretty cool. It was all right. Good. Boris was heavy. Melvin's were okay. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about DEICIDE. DEICIDE. I don't know. I've been just DEICIDE lately. I think because the box set came out. I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah, the box set came out and I bought it because I never really listened to much of the later albums. Serpents and Later, I never listened to. I put them on and was kind of disinterested at the time. You know, that was 97, and I think we were really into the, you know, like my group of dudes. We were really into the, like black metal in 97, like Marduk, Immortal. You know, they were putting great albums out, 96, 97. And a lot of the Swedish stuff, like the Gothenburg stuff was big here, In Flames. And it's funny, it wasn't In Flames, it was Dissection. Dissection was big. Dark Tranquillity had The Gathering was really big. I think it was Dark Tranquillity. Yeah, The Gathering. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, we loved the Canaris Quintet with Silence of the World Beyond. You know, obviously At the Gates. That stuff was really big. So DEICIDE kind of went to the wayside. But anyway, 25 years later, I want to talk about it. I picked up the albums. Yeah, the later albums are weird in the recordings. They almost sound like demos. They're a little like flat on the production, but when I play them, I just give them a little ass with my stereo, you know, a little kick the bottom end up and a little bit of the mids and brights, and they punch a little better. But today, speaking of DEICIDE, and two of the greatest death metal albums ever recorded are Legion and the self-titled DEICIDE album. End of story. Don't care about anybody's opinion. You can comment to death. Those are facts. But Steve Asheim. Most of these older death metal bands, like, you know, other than like Cannibal and DEICIDE, and I'm sure there's a few other, but you know, they don't have their original drummers, and it's because this music is extremely, extremely demanding. But Steve Asheim, I just saw them the end of last year, I think it was, doing the whole Legion album. Maybe it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it's no joke. And Steve Asheim is doing Behead the Prophet here, courtesy of Drummers from Hell, one of the greatest YouTube channels ever. But let's check out, I'm going to shut up and we can check out Steve. Let's check out Steve. Because, yeah, Steve is no joke. But he's playing Behead the Prophet. It's shot good, sounds pretty good. And yeah, Steve's putting it down. Let's check out how Steve, in his mid-50s or something in that, I hate to throw that out there at you, Steve. It's just that it is impressive that you are just dishing ass out at. That sounded gross. I don't really mean that. But yeah, just hammering through this stuff. DEICIDE, Steve Asheim. Steve Asheim, Behead the Prophet. Right now. Good morning. the kick fuse. Love that. I love Steve's face when he's playing. He's just for the record, this thing sounds awesome in headphones. Like, better than their live albums. Another fun fact, small death metal band. DEICIDE doesn't tune down. They're this brutal at E flat. Say what you will, they don't have to drop tune to A and all that other shit. E flat, player tune. Leads are panned. Awesome. Yeah, grabs the hat. Awesome. You know, just straightforward DEICIDE, man. You know, the drumming isn't super, I hate to use the word tasty, but you know what I mean. It's kind of the meat and potatoes, but just dished out. Brutal, consistent, you know, I don't know. OGs. DEICIDE there from late 80s. You know, still putting albums out. No matter who they get in the band, it sounds like DEICIDE for the better part. I mean, yeah, we all, you know, you have your Hoffman brothers up to 2004, and then you know, they had the Cannibal guy and all that. At that time, reading a lot of liner notes, seems like Steve and Glenn were writing a lot of the material. Because as I understand, Steve can play guitar quite well, so he was writing a lot of the material back then in those later albums, or still later, even up to now. Anyway, that's the video for today. DEICIDE, Behead the Prophet. You know, catch them, they're going back out. They just did the Legion album. I don't know how long they're still doing that, but it was brutal. No matter how they get in the band, they sound great now. So I seen him in 1995 and they ripped my head off. To this day, it's the show that I probably think of the most. You know, like if I think of or start reminiscing about shows I've seen in my 20s, 19 and 20 years old, Suffocation and DEICIDE, but especially DEICIDE. 1995 was the most intimidating, brutal show as far as just an acoustic band playing in a small room. They ripped your head off. All right, enough. This is a video for today. DEICIDE, always. DEICIDE, always. Yeah.